Welcome to this channel. Mau belajar bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris dengan cara yang seru, santai, dan mudah dipahami? You're in the right place. Belajar kosakata dan ekspresi sehari-hari. Learn daily vocabulary and expressions. Dengarkan contoh situasi nyata. Listen to real-life examples. Subscribe sekarang dan nyalakan notifikasi. Let's learn together and have fun.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Hi, everyone.
Today we're taking a fascinating look into a beginner level Indonesian language lesson.
Yeah, this one's titled Absolute Beginner S1 S Tag 13. What are your Indonesian plans?
Right. And think of this as like a quick start guide. We want you to understand some really fundamental Indonesian phrases.
Especially around things like family, marital status plans, that sort of thing.
Exactly. We've got the lesson notes here, dialogues, vocab lists, sentence examples.
Grammar points, cultural insights, the whole package.
So the mission for you listening in is to really get a handle on these key phrases.
Yeah, by the end you should grasp those basic questions about marriage, kids, plans.
And crucially, get a feel for the cultural thinking behind why these questions are common.
Okay, so let's dive straight into the dialogue then.
Let's do it. It's a chat between two people, Wayne and Mas Idi. It kicks off with Wayne asking, Mas Idi, sudah kawan?
Okay, so the names were clear. Sudah kawan. What does that mean for us?
That translates to, any of you married yet? Pretty direct.
And Edie's answer is just sudah.
Just the one word.
Yeah, which means yes or already. It's interesting how efficient that is.
Right. A common question, a one-word affirmative answer.
And we'll touch more on sudah later. It's quite a versatile word.
Okay, so the conversation moves on. Wayne asks, Sudah punya anak, Mas?
Which means...
do you have children yet, brother? Again, pretty standard follow-up, it seems.
And Edie's response this time?
Belum.
Ah, okay, so not sudah this time. Belum means not yet.
Exactly. Not yet.
Another concise answer. And that word belum also has some cultural weight we need to unpack.
Definitely. Then Wayne switches gears a bit, asks about plans. Ada ringka and tinggal di sini.
Which translates to, do you have plans to live here?
Yep. And Edie's answer here is a little more detailed. He says, tidak juga, tapi mungkin di Jakarta.
Okay, let's break that down. It's like an...
Bit of hesitation, yeah.
Tidak juga, that's not really...
Right.
Tapi mungkin di Jakarta.
But maybe in Jakarta. So it's not a firm no to staying nearby, but maybe somewhere else.
Exactly. It shows a bit more nuance than the previous answers.
And Wayne wraps up the whole exchange with hebat.
Meaning?
Great. Just a simple positive closing.
So even in that really short conversation, you get a feel for asking about marriage, kids, plans, and the typical short answers.
Yeah, it's quite packed, actually. It does make you wonder about, what's prioritized in quick chats.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's look at the building blocks, the vocabulary from the lesson notes.
Good idea. So we definitely encountered sudah.
Right, meaning already or functioning as yes in that context.
Then kawan, which is to marry.
And anak, meaning child.
We also heard belum.
The crucial not yet.
And punya.
To have, as in to have children.
Okay, moving on to the planning part of the conversation.
We had rencana, meaning plan.
Tinggal, meaning to stay or to live.
Di sini, meaning here.
And from Edie's longer answer, we got tapi.
And mungkin.
But
maybe. And of course, the place name, Jakarta.
Right. And Wayne's final word, hebat.
Great.
So that covers the dialogue words. The notes also give a few extras.
Yeah, useful ones like bukan.
Okay, what's bukan?
It means not, but it's specifically used for negating nouns or noun phrases. Like saying something is not a certain thing. We'll see it in the grammar bit.
Gotcha. Also, ibu,
Mother,
bikin,
to make.
and rumah.
House. These pop up in the sample sentences later.
Okay, perfect. That gives us a good set of words. Let's talk grammar then. The notes highlight suda.
Yeah, this is interesting. So we know it means already, but it's doing more work than just that. The lesson explains it indicates something is finished, completed.
Like a past action that's done.
Exactly. And importantly, it can function as that complete yes answer we saw.
So, suda kawan, suda means, are you married yet? Yes.
Precisely. Very efficient, very common.
Makes sense. Okay, what about saying no? Negation. The notes distinguish bukan and tidak.
Yes, this is a key point for learners. Bukan is the one you use when you're saying something is not a noun or pronoun.
Like the example they give.
Right. Saya bukan guru.
I am not a teacher. Teacher is the noun.
Exactly. So if you're negating the what something is, it's bukan.
And they stress bukan and tidak are not interchangeable.
Definitely not. So tidak, although it wasn't in that main dialogue,
Right.
the notes tell us it's generally used to negate verbs, actions.
Okay, so like, I don't understand we use tidak.
Perfect example. Saya tidak mengerti. Mengerti means understand, a verb. So you use tidak. We'll see an example sentence later.
Got it. Verbs tidak, nouns buka. What about belum then? It means not yet.
It does mean not yet, roughly. But the notes hint it's more nuanced than just timing.
Which leads us right into the cultural insights section. This is where it gets really interesting.
Totally. The notes point out that asking sudah kawin and sudah punya anak is like standard Indonesian small talk.
Wow. So questions that might feel quite personal in some cultures are apparently very normal ways to start a chat there.
Exactly. The lesson literally says, get used to hearing them. It really highlights how central marriage and family are viewed.
It does. It's quite different.
And this is where belum comes back in a cultural sense.
Okay, how so?
Well, while you could technically say tidak, no, if you aren't married or don't have kids.
Right, grammatically it means no.
Culturally, it can sound a bit abrupt, maybe even a bit final. Because there's often a societal expectation or hope that people will eventually marry and have children. So saying tidak might feel like shutting that down.
What is belum not yet?
Exactly. Belum keeps the possibility open. It suggests it hasn't happened yet, but maybe it will. It's considered softer, more polite, more culturally appropriate in response to those specific questions.
That's a really key insight. It's not just about the dictionary definition, it's about the social context.
Precisely. It's about navigating the conversation smoothly within that cultural framework, acknowledging the norm without necessarily giving a blunt no.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So let's look at the sample sentences provided. They should help tie the vocab and grammar together.
Yeah, they show the words in different contexts, like saya mau bikin bubur,
which uses bacon to make. I want to make rice porridge.
Then we see the question form again. Apa sudah kawin?
Are you already married? Using sudah. Notice there's no explicit you needed, it's implied.
Good point. Then anak itu lucu.
That child is cute. Using anak.
Ini rumah Pak Tuti.
This is Tuti's house, using rumah. And bak is a term of address, like miss or sister.
And here's the bukan example. Orang itu bukan wayan.
That person is not wayan. negating the noun wayan. Clear.
Now, the tidak example. Ibu saya tidak peduli dengan hari ibu.
My mother does not care about Mother's Day. Negating the verb peduli, to care.
Perfect. Shows the difference clearly.
Okay, a few more examples using the other words.
Ibu saya di bank.
My mom is at the bank, using ibu.
Ibu itu membacakan sebuah buku untuk anak perempuannya.
Bit longer. The mother reads a book to her daughter, uses ibu and anak.
Then, saya ingin memiliki banyak anak.
I want to have many children. Again, anak.
And about the house, rumah. Menyambut Imlek, rumah harus betul-betul dibersihkan.
Welcoming the Chinese New Year, houses must be thoroughly cleaned.
Finally, one connecting to plans and location. Pada malam tahun baru, orang-orang lebih suka berada di luar rumah.
On New Year's Eve, people prefer to be outside of the house, using rumah again.
So yeah, those sentences give a much broader feel for how these words work.
Definitely helps cement things. Okay, so let's try and recap the main points from this deep dive.
Well, first you've got a foundation for those really common questions in Indonesian about marriage and kids.
Right, sudah kawin, sudah punya anak, and how to answer simply with sudah for yes.
And belum for not yet.
And we clarified the negation difference. Bukan for is not a noun, tidak for does not verb.
Super important distinction.
But maybe the most eye-opening part is the cultural layer.
For sure. Understanding why those questions are common and why Balaam is often the preferred negative answer for them.
Yeah, that preference for not yet over a direct no really speaks volumes about cultural expectations around those life milestones in Indonesia.
It absolutely does.
And it really makes you think, doesn't it, about our own cultures. What seemingly simple small talk questions do we ask?
And what unspoken assumptions or values might be hiding behind them.
Exactly. You ask someone, what do you do? And there are layers to that too.
Definitely. So this beginner lesson, it's more than just vocabulary. It's a little window into a different way of viewing things, a different cultural perspective.
A great reminder that language and culture are just so deeply intertwined. Something to keep thinking about.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.